there! It is so good to see you today. I'm Miss Heather, and this is Bible Blast. I really hope you enjoy this episode.
Hey Lobster, have I got a whopper of a tale for you?
What is it this time, Whale?
God sent me a message.
God talked to you?
Yep, he told me to swallow a man.
I'm sorry. Did you say swallow?
Yep, he told me to swallow a man named Jonah.
You do have a pretty big mouth.
Yeah, I do. So, I swallowed him. And then 3 days later, I spit him up.
How big was this so-called man?
Oh, he was about this big.
Well...
Okay, maybe this big?
Get the true story of Jonah at Arrow Bible Camp this summer.
You can register online today at napervillechurch.org.
For today's story, we're going to do something a little different. We are going to read the story from the Bible, and we're going to illustrate it ourselves as we're reading it. So we're going to focus on 1 Corinthians chapter 12, and we're talking about how there are many parts to a body, and all of us make up the parts of the body of Christ. So that's what this part of 1 Corinthians is talking about, and we're in chapter 12. So you will need a Bible and some paper and then something to draw with. So pencil, pens, crayons, markers, whatever you like. Okay? So when you get your Bible, go ahead and turn to 1 Corinthians chapter 12. And when you find it, we're going to be starting in verse 15. Okay? So I'm going to read through it a little bit, and then at some point I'm going to stop, and then we're going to draw what we just read. Okay? So listen carefully. Now, if the foot should say, because I am not a hand, I do not belong to the body, it would not, for that reason, stop being part of the body. And if the ear should say, because I am not an eye, I do not belong to the body, it would not, for that reason, stop being part of the body. If the whole body were an eye, where would the sense of hearing be? So I'm going to stop right there, and we are going to draw a picture of that verse. So in verse 17, where it says, if the whole body were an eye, where would the sense of hearing be? So what I want you to do is draw a person where their whole body is an eye. And I kind of think of Mike from Monsters, Inc. when I picture a person that has just a giant eye for their body. But let's see what ours turn out to look like. So go ahead and get your paper and whatever you're going to draw with, and draw a person with the body of an eye. If you want to, you can do this with your family. You can keep your drawing secret and then show each other at the end to compare drawings. As you can see, it would be so silly if our body was just an eye. We need all the body parts to function correctly. Now we're going to continue in the second part of verse 17. And it says, if the whole body were an ear, where would the sense of smell be? So now we're going to stop, and we're going to illustrate that part of the verse where it says the whole body is an ear. So let's go ahead and draw that.
can do this with any Bible story. It's a fun way to illustrate the Bible as you read it. It would be impossible for one body part to survive on its own. That's why we rely on all the body parts, just like we rely on all the members of Christ's body.
Okay, so now that we have that drawn, let's continue on in verse 18. But in fact, God has placed the parts in the body, every one of them, just as He wanted them to be. If they were all one part, where would the body be? As it is, there are many parts, but one body. So all of the body parts are important. They all play a very important part. So that's just like all of us. We are all parts of Christ's body, and we are all very important. Okay, so now to sum it all up, I want to read verse 25. So that there should be no division in the body, but that its parts should have equal concern for each other. If one part suffers, every part suffers with it. If one part is honored, every part rejoices with it. So that means that even though we're all different parts, we're all connected, and we should rejoice with each other, but also we should be sympathetic to those who are hurting. Hi, welcome to our craft today. We are going to be making something that goes along with our theme. So we've been talking about being the body of Christ. So all of us serve an important part of that, and to kind of go along with that, we are going to be making a craft using our hand. And we can use our hand to serve others. So this will be a good reminder when we see this craft to use our hands to serve others. And for this craft, you will need some paper, a ruler, a pencil, and some markers or crayons or colored pencils. And before we get started, I wanted to say a couple things. First, I wanted to let you know that we are in the 3rd and 4th grade classroom at Naperville Church of Christ. So it's kind of fun to be back here because we miss our Sunday morning classes and our Wednesday night classes. And also, the other thing I wanted to point out is that Brody and I are wearing our Jonah Arrow Bible Camp t-shirts. So make sure you have your parents register you for Arrow Bible Camp this summer, because we're going to do a lot of fun stuff, including crafts and activities, and we're going to learn some stories from the book of Jonah. And if you look really close at our shirt, you'll see there's some sea creatures, but these sea creatures actually spell out the word Jonah. So this whale right here is a J, and then there's a little puffer fish here that's the O, and there's an eel that makes the N, and this turtle is the A, and then we have an octopus here that makes the H in Jonah. So it's kind of a little bit of an optical illusion because these animals are spelling out the word Jonah. Which reminds me that this craft we're doing is a little bit of an optical illusion too. It seems really simple, which it is really simple, but it'll be really cool when you finish it. So first, what you're going to do is you're going to trace your hand on a piece of paper. And if you need someone to help you, you can get someone to help you, or you can do it yourself. But use a pencil. So for this part, you're using your pencil to trace your hand. And you can kind of go all the way to the edge of the paper and get your wrist as well.
Okay, once you get your hand traced with the pencil, you're going to take your ruler and you are going to draw lines across your paper like this. So for this part, you're using a marker or a pen or something that's a little bit darker. So I'm using a thin black marker for this. So you'll need this ruler, Brody. And we're gonna start at the top and we're gonna go across. We're gonna just draw a straight line across the top of the page. And then we're gonna go about the same length down, so maybe about a half an inch or so, or 3/4 of an inch, and go across. And then keep going down, but then when you see part of the outline of your finger, skip over that part. So I'm gonna stop right there because there's the tip of my finger, and then I'm gonna continue on this side. So keep going about the same length apart, however much you want that to be. And then I'm seeing the tips of my finger here, so I'm skipping over the tips of my finger. You see that? Okay, so once you have all your lines drawn out, you are going to go back and in these spaces where you skipped over your hand outline, you're going to add a curved line on those places. So here, right here at the top, I'm going to draw a curved line. So from this point to that point, just a curved line on all of these places where I skipped over my hand. And then over on this side. So as you can see, if you look at it from distance, it looks kind of cool because it kind of looks like your hand is raising up from the paper. And the more you exaggerate those curves, the more exaggerated it'll look, lifted up from the paper. So once you have those lines done, you can pick a color, 1 or 2 colors, or I think I'm gonna pick just one color, and then I'm gonna color every other stripe. So if you can color every stripe if you want to, just alternate colors, or you can skip a line like I'm gonna do.
Hey kids, thanks for joining us for Bible Blast. Hope you had a blast!